now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
With a warm-up and a refreeze, we are definitely going to be entering the peak of pothole season before we know it. And right now, we are looking at falling about 10 degrees, if not cooler, this afternoon compared to yesterday. Boy, was it beautiful. 45 degrees over at DTW yesterday, putting us well above the average high of 34. And that came off of an incredibly long stretch of at or below average temperatures, and pretty much below, as you see that blue here. And that was a continuation of the last 2 weeks of January. So breaking down the numbers, 45 was the official high yesterday, 11 degrees warmer than the average of 34. The last time we felt a 40-degree day, January 13th, 28 days before that, nearly a month. And then it was almost 3 weeks before that we had a day that was 32 degrees or warmer. So, I mean, we have been below the freezing mark for quite some time. We were overdue for the warm up, and now we're back to around freezing this afternoon and feeling a little cooler with the wind chill. Today's daily high will actually be 36. That's what we hit just after midnight, but the afternoon high will be right around 31. And so we'll continue to fall into the 20s throughout the evening and likely feeling like teens with the wind chill. That's because today's wind gusts will continue to be upward of 20 miles per hour with sustained winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's a northwesterly flow, so that's ushering in the cooler air compared to yesterday's warmth. As we just zip through the computer model data, because there really isn't a whole lot to show you, only little blip we have is later on tonight after midnight or so that we could see a flake or two develop from Port Huron into the thumb. Just some moisture still coming off of the Great Lakes, and that's not even a slam dunk. And that's just really the best chance for precipitation throughout the next week. This is a much bigger weather maker, and that's dodging us to the south. So originally it was tracking a little closer to the metro area where we thought we could see a chance for some rain and snow, and now we've removed that from the 7-day forecast because that is going to be more impactful from D.C. through Philadelphia, New York, as there will be that mixture and some accumulating snow. So by the end of the weekend, if you're doing some traveling in that region, you want to make sure you keep a close eye on the forecast. That could create some tricky travel for sure. Speaking of the weekend, if you're spending Valentine's Day here close to home, 37 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and not a drip or a drop in that forecast, meaning that it'll be a nice dry day, slightly above average. Really can't ask for much more on Valentine's Day. But if you do want even warmer conditions, well, we have that just after the holiday. February 17th through the 21st, temperature outlook keeping us well above average. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to just say it's well above average because models are not quite in agreement, but in full transparency, we have some highs next week with model data, mid-40s, while others are pushing us all the way into the 60s. So we will be well above average. We just have to see if that falls on the lower end of things or somewhere in the middle. 60s might be a little bit aggressive with that, but hey, we're going to take more spring-like feels for sure. So we're close to 40 through the weekend, and we'll be hanging tight in the low 40s by the early part of the next work and school week.